My dad was diagnosed with TB in 2003, and suddenly he'd become completely debilitated and he was completely bedridden. And when we spoke to the doctors, they told us that he had only a few more days to live and that we had to bring him home and give him a peaceful death. So dad wouldn't eat or drink. He was completely bedridden, and we had to put tubes in or feed him through the vein actually, which he would pull out most of the times. And finally it became so difficult that we could not feed him. At home it was quite difficult because dad was our main breadwinner of the family. He was the one who was taking care of us completely, and having someone like that bedridden and not able to talk to you or even eat, we were in a sort of a turmoil. We could not explain to anyone, and then we had relatives coming over to see, thinking that tonight was dad's last night, and we all used to sit together around his bed and crying and praying. Dad was very worried about me, about our family, like who will look after us. We just wanted him to become well just as he was before. And one Sunday morning, I went with my brother to church. And when I went to church, I was completely devastated. I was just there going to ask God for my dad's life, but I could not. I was just standing there, and the tears were just rolling. I could not say anything. And as the service finished, and I was about to walk out of the church, and I just saw one of the uncle who was being led across. And that point of time, I felt in my heart, I prayed and I said, God, I want to bring my father like this, and I want to see my father walking just like this. And after that, I just went home, and en route, we got a phone call from my mom to say that dad's the color of his urine had changed, because for the past 3 to 4 months it was completely dark brown. So that was the first call we received. And by the time when we reached home, dad asked us if we could sit him up, which was for the first time he had asked us. And we sat him up, and slowly he started feeding. And within 1 week he could sit up on his own, and within the next few days he started to walk. Now after 12 years gone by, dad is perfectly healthy, completely healed. If I should tell you his routine, early morning, even before he has his breakfast, dad is on his knees praying. He has a Bible with him all the time. He carries it with him, he sits there, he reads non-stop, and then in between he goes, he prays. He's on his knees. He's 74 now. He's on his knees praying all the time. You see that he's praying. He's perfectly fine, no problem whatsoever. This is one of the biggest miracles, I'd say, which God has given. It's like, sometimes we have faith, but how far is our faith going when we give everything to God, and then we see that God doing a miracle for each one of us, and that's the miracle which God has done in our lives.